So, ma'am, my first question would be, how are you so skilled, ma'am? As have I also seen you and also joined your classes, I have seen that you have very high attention to details. No.
Yes.
So, how did you gain that skill, and how should someone learn that skill?
Okay, so when it comes to attention to detail, yes, there are certain things that I always wanted to observe. Okay, that comes naturally. That's how it started with me. So the things that always interested me, for example, what many people don't know is I am a classical dancer as well. So that field was something that I was really interested. So I do pay attention to that. And there are a lot of other things where I skip out on details. For example, being a dancer, a full-fledged dancer is where we also have complete idea of the costumes, makeup, color combination, what suits for which skin tone, and all of that. Okay, these details I would miss out because these were not something that I would always look into. I mean, these things never interested me. That is a point. But yeah, recently I sat with my guru and she started explaining the importance of it. And she noticed that I'm not able to, gain these details. So that is when she told you to start observing things. Okay, so you have to pick up a topic or a category that you want to observe. Let's say, for example, what came to me naturally was also in academics. Okay, I would pick up details because that was something which I really liked. When you enjoy doing something, you naturally start observing it completely, and then you start picking up the minor details in it. Okay. So this used to happen because of the fields where I was naturally interested. So now places where I was not interested but is necessary for me, I will have to sit and keep observing the topics. I have to keep observing, do various case studies, observe a lot of people, observe a lot of things regarding that, and start gaining it. And once you start observing, learn to interpret that. So that will tell you what details you have grasped and what details you have missed out. So when you're telling it or when you're narrating it to another person or you're telling it to your own self, that time you will come to know what details you have told and what details you have missed. So eventually, over time, this is a gradual process. Over time, you will definitely be able to gain, a complete attention to all the details, major and minor.
So, means mainly experience,
Observation, that's
interest,
the first.
observation.
Yeah, observation and interpretation, whether you have interest or not.
Uh,
Okay,
oh,
if you really want to develop it, observe and start interpreting it. These are the two key factors that play a role.
oh, okay, ma'am. That was a nice answer, ma'am. So, ma'am, my second answer would be, what are your hobbies?
Okay, I do have a diverse set for it, but to name a few, yes, I do love reading books. I don't stick onto a particular genre. For me, it all depends on the author. So, whosoever is the author of the book is, if they've written beautifully, maybe the first 2 to 3 pages or 4 to 5 pages of reading the book, and I feel interesting, I will read it, irrespective of the genre or the category to which it belongs to. So that reading is one. Then yes, of course, dancing. I am a little more serious about this, so I am also pursuing my BA in Bharatnatyam. So yes, that is going on. These are the two major things, and apart from that, yeah, I have little interest towards cooking. So when possible, I do a little bit of that. Yeah, I think to name a few, of course, it's these.
Okay, ma'am. So you like fantasy stories, books?
Yeah, I do. I
Oh,
of course do. In fact, I don't limit myself to any genre, as I told. I don't limit to a particular category. Any category book I will read. As long as the author has written it well, I will read.
okay,
That's how I am.
okay, ma'am. Uh, few books you can remember.
Hmm. If I have to remember it, it all starts with my childhood days. I used to read a lot of Sudha Murthy's books. I used to get most of these as gifts. So Sudhamurthy's books. I used to read books written by Enid Blyton. So Enid Blyton had two very famous series of books, The Secret Seven and the I think it's called as a Mystery Five or the Strange Five, something like that. It's a group of five people. The story goes about that. Secret Seven goes revolves about seven people, seven people in a group of friends. And so these are the books that I started reading, and that's how I started loving reading this thing of reading. That's how it all started for me.
Nice, ma'am. Nice. As for me, I also start liking from internationals, storybooks. From as example, Harry Potter's. It was my
Mm-hmm.
first book, so yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I think many people love being a Potterhead. So yeah.
yeah, ma'am, it was a child dream for me.
Yeah, for many, in fact, a lot of people whom I've spoken to who love reading, most of them are Potterheads too. So yeah.
We did it. Okay, ma'am. My third question, third, no, fourth question would be, what is your favorite international tourist spot?
Hmm. That's a big question for me to think about because if there is a you tell me one particular place is not going to work. I have couple of places I think given a chance the entire world. I would love to tour the entire world. Yeah, so I don't know when that's going to be a reality. Let's see when that happens.
So you're gonna have a world tour.
Yeah, I would really love to travel the entire world. And yeah, I don't prefer crowded places. So I would maybe prefer places which are more alone, which are more fine, more calm with less crowd. And yeah, if I am planning to take a tour, then just visiting the main hotspots of that area will not be my thing. I think I would love to go to every street, literally walk through every street and see what the street has. So that is my kind of thing.
On village area, nostalgia feeling.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't matter if it is a village area, if it is no man area, if it is a city, I don't mind. But I would love to walk through every street. Like I just don't want to miss out anything in that particular area when I'm visiting. So
Oh,
that's how I,
okay.
yeah.
Now seeing you, it's giving me ideas. Where should I go
Mhm.
as my international trip? I never
Okay,
thought
so
about
what about that?
going on every street. Now I'm thinking about that.
Nice. No, because I personally feel that every street might have a story to tell. Every street might bring a different thought or a different perspective. It's a proven fact that nature can literally have some impact in our thought process. So probably you can pick up some really good ideas. Maybe you will get something really nice for life, or maybe something really nice for your career, or maybe it's something really nice for your academics. Something you will find definitely. So yeah, if we are skipping out some streets, maybe we are skipping out some of those possibilities too.
New point of view. Nice, ma'am.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, ma'am. Now my fifth question is, uh, as I heard from Augustine sir that recently you have given GATE exam and now waiting
Yeah.
for your result. I hope that you got it. And
No, not yet. It's not yet announced.
no, I hope you got it.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah.
Uh, do you have any kind of plan or thinking about or any kind of point of view on international studies, studying on abroad?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree. If you're planning, especially in the research field, top institutes in the foreign countries, depending on your field of research, is definitely a good option. But yeah, again, I tell you, it's always better in the top institutes, not otherwise. So yeah, they are called as the Ivy Leagues. Those kind of institutes are categorized under Ivy Leagues. So if you're able to get through an Ivy League university, I feel it's the best option to do. If otherwise, if you really feel that that particular university or something is, relevant or something that you really want to, maybe your dream university, it is not an Ivy League, but it is your dream university because you saw some particular feature which is the best over there, then that's completely fine to pursue. But yeah, if you would ask me, given a chance, yes, I would really like to.
You will go.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, That's that's nice, ma'am. I also thinking on going, and I'm not sure. Also thinking. So,
Oh,
ma'am, my seventh question, it's a
mhm.
contradictory question. So,
No
as I have
problem.
as I asked previously about going studying from abroad, now I'm
Mhm.
going to ask you a question about what's your point of view on India's brain drain problem that recently young youth skills have started to leave India and going abroad. So what's your point of view
True.
on that?
Regarding the brain drain problem, well, essentially, I feel to some extent, or at least partially, it is also within the country. Why people leave the place and go to a different place is usually two major things. One, the first and foremost, a better pay scale. So you're getting a better pay there, your salary is getting better. So definitely they will choose that option. The next thing is the kind of infrastructure or the facilities that you're getting. Okay, if you are if say somebody is leaving India and going to a city which is, say somebody is from Bangalore, okay, let's say they're from Bangalore and they're going to another city abroad which is not as developed as Bangalore, they will not go, they will definitely not go. Okay, so they will go if and only if their salary is getting better compared to what they're getting here. So that's how it is. So these are the two major factors. So I think if these two can be resolved in the country, probably it'll. I think this drain problem also can be resolved. And I don't think we should see it as a potential threat. Maybe we should just think of building the alumni network. Okay. So when we talk, see, many of the IITs, IISEs, okay, even a lot of NITs, they have a very good alumni network. Okay. So they have people who have, gone to, abroad countries, maybe as part of their higher studies, maybe as part of their research, maybe as part of their, career or through the company or whatever, whether they go out or whether they're inside the country, they will make sure that they are doing something for their juniors. Okay, that network is good with them. That alumni network is good. The reason that alumni network is good is simply because they had a very good or a wonderful experience during their college days. So if the institutes are able to provide something really worthwhile to the students, then definitely the students will come back at some point of time thinking, yes, it is their alma mater. Nobody has to tell them that, it is your alma mater, come back and do something. They will naturally feel that gratitude. They will come down and they will help their juniors. So that, from one generation to another or from one batch to another, the kind of help, the kind of support that they get is to the next level. So I think that we can see it as an opportunity too.
So the main point is we should have a college experience that after the completion of college, a student have gone abroad. He should feel he should itself feel that he should came in India and study, not by force.
Yeah, not come in India and study, but at least come back to his institute and help the next batch of students. And that is possible only if, say if I have to help my juniors or my next batch, if me or my batch had a good experience in the college, we will definitely come back, right? So if you've not had a good experience, why would somebody come back? They will definitely think, I didn't have a good experience. Why should I go back to that place?
Yes.
That's how it is. So if the institutes can bring that, I think whether they go out or not, what you need you will get for sure. So whether it is in terms of placement support, whether it is in terms of career guidance, whether it is in terms of subject matter experts, whether it is in terms of industry experts, you can always rely upon your alumni network if you've provided a good experience, good college life experience to them. So yeah.
So one question, ma'am.
Mhm.
What is alumni? Means,
Alumni are those group of people who have already passed out from the college.
oh,
Yeah.
pass out
So if there is one,
students.
yes, the pass out students who are probably doing something in their life. Maybe they're studying further, maybe they're probably doing some research, maybe they're into the company, in the corporate sector, maybe the government sector, something, whatever they are doing. Maybe some are even entrepreneurs too. So yeah, the people who have studied in that particular institute and have passed out, they are called as alumni.
I didn't know about that. I just
Okay.
learned that right now.
Okay.
Nice. I'm also learning here.
Yes, of course. It should always be that way.
Okay, ma'am. So, now, ma'am, maybe sixth or seventh, I don't know. I lost the
Doesn't
count.
matter. Yeah. No problem. Yeah.
Uh, what was your first impression of me when you saw me when I first joined your class? A bit
When
personal, but
somebody first joins, no, no problem whether it is personal or not. But my point is when somebody joins my class, whether I, as maybe anything, maybe as a friend, maybe as any sort of relationship I hold with a person, as a friend, as probably a guide, a mentor, anything. I don't judge by looks. So if you have to tell me what did I feel by seeing you, no, I have no idea because I am completely blank. I always keep a blank book for every person. So it's over time that the person has some pages will be filled regarding the person. So yeah, initially when I saw you, I had nothing much. I mean, of course, I didn't judge, so of course I have no opinion. But over time, eventually you did attend classes properly. Yeah, initially you were attending. Yes, I remember that. Initially, I think 2.5, 3 weeks or something, you were attending the class as well. So yes, that was fine for me. But after that, you literally skipped attending classes for a long time. There's no communication. There was nothing. So then I felt, what's wrong with the student? Okay, and I remember asking with sir. Yeah, so I remember asking with sir, and sir told that, yeah, I heard from the students also that, particular semester got, completed and you people had a small break and you came back for the next semester. So the first day of the next semester, you came to the college, you saw everything and you just absconded. You didn't even attend, your physical college classes after that. So yeah, that I thought, what is wrong with you? Then yeah, eventually you wouldn't continue with that for that particular term, and yeah, I thought it's okay because every student has their own time, their own time when they're ready to learn, their own time frame as well. Even if we design a course, say for 4 months, sometimes the students don't complete it within 4 months. They might need maybe 6 months or maybe even 8 months. It just depends on the student. So yeah, after that we just let it to your convenience and with the next batch you joined in, and yeah, we could see that drastic change in you, and we are really happy about your transformation as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah,
So there were some waves at first, but
yeah,
now they are gentle waves.
good.
Okay, ma'am. Ah, so, ma'am, my next question would be, how did you meet Augustine, sir?
That's a real wonderful question to ask.
I
Because
always
I don't know if
wonder
sir
about that.
remembers or not, but
I always wonder about that. How did you meet
okay.
Augustine, sir?
So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah, that's a really interesting thing for me. I think it's also interesting for my batchmates too. I mean, we had a group called Bats, so it's interesting for the Bats group as well to know the story. So thing is, initially when I joined engineering, okay, it was COVID time. The year was 2020. So 2020 December was when our admission process began to the colleges and all of that. So I joined the college, and classes were online at the time. So till about mid-Jan, we had online classes. So at that time, sir's colleague, we had the HOD, the then HOD of English department, Professor P. Chitra. So she was handling English for my class. And Augustine sir, there are only two teachers in that department, in English department. So Augustine sir and Chitra ma'am. So both of them would handle it as alternate. So if they take one class, if Chitra ma'am is taking section A, Augustine sir would take section B. Chitra ma'am will take section C, Augustine sir would take section D. It was like some alternate basis they would have classes. So one particular class, online class, Augustine sir had logged in. Logged in into Chitra ma'am's class. I think they had some internal audit or something like that. For that purpose, I believe that, sir logged into ma'am's class. I think ma'am also had logged into sir's class. So that is the first time I'm seeing the name, Augustine sir's name. Then I thought, wait, ma'am is asking English subject questions to sir. So sir is also an English faculty. That is when I realized sir is also an English faculty. And I kept quiet. I think once when the college started mid-Jan, they kept a hybrid mode where the students can attend offline classes. Parallelly, if they are not able to come down to offline classes, the teacher will be teaching in the class, and they'll have a system in front of them, a camera setup, where the same thing will be recorded live to the students online. So in this hybrid mode, once I remember I was crossing through I was in B section at the time and I was crossing through A section class. So I saw sir teaching to the entire class online. I think apparently that class didn't turn up to the offline classes. They were attending online. So that is the first. And then I heard sir talking about the subject. I realized it was English. That's the first time I saw Augustine sir. I immediately recognized there were only two teachers in the department. It was sir. Then, yeah, that was it in first semester. I think Chitra ma'am had a very good opinion about me. So yeah, I think she definitely shared about the kind of student I was to Augustine sir. And in second semester is when I met Augustine sir. That is when Sir Augustine sir started taking English classes for my section. So at that time we had Teachers Day coming up. We had Independence Day also. So I think we didn't have much time, just 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks time between Independence Day to Teachers Day, because August 15th is Independence Day and September 5th is Teachers Day. So August 15th, for on the occasion of Independence Day, they decided to organize a particular competition. They had debate, they had essay writing, they had elocution, and a couple of things. And they asked me also to join in helping them organize. And they told you also involve, you also take part in the competition. So I too took part in the competition, and yeah, that was initially done to gather the talent, to see which student is talented in what and who can contribute to the upcoming events. So that's how we gathered, and from then we turned into a community with Augustine sir, Chitra ma'am, and we also had HOD of Humanities, Sumaya ma'am. So these three professors were there, and we had a large group, I think about 30 students plus three teachers, and we were conducting various events. We would celebrate birthdays and all of that. So that's how it is. And eventually we took up to little more serious things like organizing competitions in the college department level. Then it turned into college level. Then we went into intercollegiate levels. And yeah, we started doing things good. So
Wow,
this is how it is.
wow, ma'am.
Yeah.
That that was a very detailed story,
It's
ma'am. Nice, ma'am. It was
yeah,
nice to hear
I
your
mean,
point.
yeah, of course. Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, as you already told in the beginning, I do pay attention to details, and yeah, of course, as of what I know, I do have a good memory, so I don't forget things easily. So yeah,
No, while you're
that's
narrating,
about
I
it.
was also imagining the scenario, how was the scene was going. So that is nice.
Yeah, while I was narrating, that thing was the entire thing is literally playing in front of my eyes. So yeah, I get your point.
Yes, ma'am. So you first create a community within college for functions, then it's grow into
For
something
events,
big.
for activities, and yeah, then we started. We saw a lot of people curbing out of it. Maybe they lost interest. Maybe they felt this is not what they had to do, or this is not what they wanted to do. Maybe they lost the interest after the initial few days, or for XYZ reasons. Okay, we had a lot of people going out, a lot of people coming in, and yeah, that way we would have a lot of team refinements, and yeah, that's how it is. But some of us were always a part of the core community, and we were always a core team. So core team had really good things to learn. We learned to manage. We had a lot of pressures. We had a lot of deadlines. But yeah, we learned to manage all of these without compromising the quality as well. So we were ready for any task as such.
Yeah. Ah, okay. So uh, apart that, my next question from you would be, what are your what are your mentors, favorite mentors beside Augustine sir?
Okay, if I have to say, well, I've luckily throughout my life, I've always had teacher support, be it teachers, lecturers, professors, right from my school days, okay, till my PU college and till my graduation. So I've had almost every teacher I meet, some way or the other, they've always shown some amount of support to me. So from I still remember during my high school days where parents would tell me it's okay, you're in your 10th standard now, so stop dancing and continue and look after your studies. So, but my teachers, they used to always give me a platform in the school. They used to always tell, it's okay, you come for the event. It's okay, it's your interest, you join in. And yeah, of course, I did have failures. I had setbacks. Yeah, I did score very low. And those times, teachers never scolded me. They never said, what is this? What is the marks that you've got? They've told, see, we understand, but it's okay for this time. Don't repeat it. Then I told them the fact honestly that, see, if I'm appearing for events, I am missing out on a couple of classes. So that's how I am coming down. So then they brought a solution to that also. They told it's okay, we are always available after class hours. So your practice or whatever you're preparing for the event will happen during the regular school hours. After that, you come down to us to the staff room with a textbook and maybe a rough notebook with a pen and pencil. we will help you. So they would sit and explain every chapter, every line by line. They would explain it to me. So yeah, particularly with maths and science, these two subjects. Science was my favorite, but yeah, missing classes, of course, made me drop down by few marks. Mathematics, I initially didn't have a good liking to the subject, so naturally I had low marks. So they would always help me out with this, from explaining the concept to telling me which formula I'm supposed to use, which formula, where I'm supposed to use, how I'm supposed to do it. Everything in about half an hour's time, they would explain. And I would just come back home, work on the same thing. So, like that, I had support from my school teachers. Coming to my lecturers in PU college, yeah, I used to fall down by grades again, second PUC. So I remember I had my chemistry teacher who was also my class teacher back then. So she told me, do one thing every day during the break hours, you just keep a separate notebook for this subject and you keep it in my staff room. I will tell you which all questions to prepare for. So every day she would give me two questions or three questions to prepare, the most important questions or for sure questions which carry the most marks in the question paper. So she would give me those questions and I would prepare. So today she'll give me the questions. Today I will prepare. Tomorrow morning or anytime during the break, I go to the lab or the department and I write the questions as a test. So I write it as a test, whether it is right or not, she will do the correction in front of me. So there's something called as answer dissection. We used to call it answer dissection because the answer was cut open right in front of us. So she would mention, this point you have missed, this particular, element was not supposed to come here. So like me, 4 marks. Literally, I could see from in the span of I think less than a month, my marks just doubled, just the double I got. So like that, it helped me improve. And yeah, I also remember in English, we used to have this answer dissection. We used to go to the English faculty. Generally, what happens is, we write the exam or test or whatever. The papers are collected, teachers collect it in the staff room, and they distribute the papers in the class. But few of us, we would go to the staff room, we would request that particular teacher to correct the paper in front of us. So they will correct and they will tell this is the mistake you've made. You're not supposed to make this mistake. So I realized all the minor mistakes as well as the major mistakes. We would realize it and we would take note of that. The next exam, we would come prepared for that also. So that way the mistakes that we make came down. And yeah, I also remember Hindi. I took up Hindi during my PU college, where Hindi was a third language in state board during my 10th standard. So, third language, when we talk about in state board, you don't have much in detail to study. You have very little to study when it comes to, third language state board. And I don't know, I had an interest towards this language. So, I told my parents directly that I am taking first language Hindi in PU. My parents said, are you sure about this? I said, yeah, I want to take it. I'm interested. They said, okay, go ahead. I don't know, my luck, God's grace, I had really good faculties for that. So once I went and spoke to my Hindi teacher saying that, ma'am, I really am not so good at Hindi. I know to read and write, but I don't know how to communicate or talk. So I will definitely have a lot of grammar mistakes and things in this. But I'm interested. That's the reason I chose this subject as well. So I will need your help. So she just saw that interest in me and she said, no problem. For whichever chapter we are doing, the poem or the poem, the lesson, or maybe the drama, whatever is going on. Once the chapter is completed, you have questions behind in the textbook. You write answers for that and you come. If you don't find answers to any question, come to me. I will help you. So I used to write answers. I used to be very, a very, what to say, adult student in these things. I was very dedicated. I used to write all the answers. I used to go and take it to the teacher. The teacher would correct it, tell the mistakes. I would recorrect them. So eventually I learned, I improved, and yeah, I got a really good score in state board PUC as well. I think similar thing carried over to my engineering as well. If I had anything regarding my subject, I always had my professors to count upon. And yeah, there were times where, where I used to get less marks in some subjects and those respective faculties would call me to their department or they would come to me and talk to me personally, asking what is wrong with you. And certain times, parents also my parents have had their fair share of complaint to the teachers as well. So they would take it over there and yeah, parents are going to be parents. So yeah, they definitely had their share of complaints there. And yeah, my professors were very much supportive of me. They would tell, see, ma'am, also we understand what you're going through. But Pooja is also a good student, so we will ensure she's taken care. She'll be taken care. Don't worry. They would say so and send my parents. Later, they would call me to the staff room and tell, take care of this, otherwise we are in trouble. So this used to happen. So yeah, that was it. And yeah, God's grace, I've had good teachers who would always look after my health as well, not just my academics or my progress in terms of academics, but also they would look after my health parallelly. Whenever I'm sick, they would say it's okay, take rest, it's all right. Whenever I had a responsibility, a teamwork to be done, and I was sick, they would say it's okay, we will allot this task to the other teammates, we will figure it out. You take rest. So that way, I've always had really good mentors. If I have to pick up some of them who are favorites, well, I should say, yeah, Augustine Sir for sure, because Sir has always been guiding me wherever I had to go to, and Sir was that person to whom I could freely share anything. Okay, I mean, not just Sir, I had Chitra ma'am and Sumaya ma'am. These three teachers were always somebody whom I could share anything. Maybe because they were not, taking any technical subjects. So I think that's the reason that leniency was also there. But yeah, I've also had teachers who, from my, department as well, who would take up the technical subjects. And they have also told, in case you face any difficulties, do approach us. So I always had that freedom to go to. So I have a lot of teachers. If I have to name people from my department, then it's difficult. I'll have to name the entire department. So that's the reason I'm not picking out on names. So yeah, I've always had a lot of teachers who have always been guiding me. I think another person who is behind the shadows is my guru, my guru under whom I'm learning dance. So she has seen me from the time I was a very small kid. I think I've been under her from the age of 8. At the age of 8, I was under her tutelage for learning, and yeah, even now I'm continuing under her. So 14, 15 years of being under her. She knows me. She's seen me through my childhood, through my teenage, through my adolescence. Now she'll also see me through my adulthood phase and all of that. So she knows me in and out. Her mom's house is also close by to the same locality where I stay. So she also knows how my parents are, what are the restrictions I have, what is the freedom I have. So that way also she's also been a good guide to me. I could always approach her for any problem, and she was always there for me, I should say. So yeah.
Oh, from the age of 8, ma'am. That's a huge. Getting a mentor from age of 8 and still now is a huge thing. I never got to experience that, but yeah, that's a huge thing,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Definitely, I agree. But yeah, that's also a good thing if you're having somebody who's older than you and who has seen you through all these phases of your life. Because you could have a lot of things going on in your personal life, going on in your family, going on within your family. Probably, your family as a whole is facing something, and it's not something that you can tell to others. So somebody who already knows this, who without having to tell, because her mom's house is close by to the area where I stay, so she knew things through that way. So she knew the things that I was going through. So they can definitely be, a source of support, and they can give you the right kind of guidance, because a lot of times you cannot share all of these outside. So whatever information you share only is what people can guide you through. So which is why they tell, when you have gurus or mentors or guides,
That's
try to open up with them, be honest with them, because they can help you out.
yes,
So
ma'am.
that's the thing. Yeah, that's a very special bond I share with her. I agree with that.
You got lucky from your start, from very young
Yeah,
age.
true.
You can say.
True, I agree. And yeah, I hope people around also have somebody like this. So during their tough times, they have somebody with them. So
By the way, I can imagine you being bad at maths.
yeah.
Out.
No, initially I was bad at math, of course. But yeah, that was all when trigonometry came into picture. I didn't like it as much, frankly speaking. But when I reached PUC, we had calculus. We had calculus and math syllabus, and I started enjoying it. So that is when I started liking it. So then the change happened. I started liking mathematics. I started working it on my own. I still remember for my boards, second PU boards, there was a chapter of differentiation. I worked the chapter in every chapter under calculus. So we had limits and derivatives. We had basics of differentials. We had application of differentials, basics of integrals, application of integrals. All of these 5 chapters, like each chapter about 5 to 6 times the whole chapter, I have worked out just before the boards. So yeah, because I was very much interested, I liked it. So that's something that saved me in engineering, because engineering mathematics, it goes for 4 semesters, and all 4 semesters, it's all about calculus. So you are bad at your roots of calculus, then you cannot figure out anything in the rest of your engineering mathematics. So that saved me as well. So that way I found engineering mathematics also interesting. So yeah, that was it.
Okay, man. I also need to fall in love with maths, man.
Hmm.
Okay, man. So, my last question, this is the last question, as you've seen, there many ways happen. My last question would be, what are your future goals and how are you planning to achieve them?
Right. So yeah, I have couple of things to start off with. Yes, I want to continue my higher education as well. At the same time, I'm also looking for a job, because no, I don't want to trouble my parents when it comes to higher education. I think they've supported me financially. They've done a very good job till now. So I feel it's done. It's time for them also to take a back seat and get some rest. So it's my turn that either I back some scholarship or probably get a stipend, or if otherwise I don't mind picking up a job for about a while, and then make myself financially independent to sponsor my own studies and work on it. So yeah, these are the two major things that I want to work on. About how it's going to happen through, yes, one thing is gate. So gate is definitely a breakthrough, uh, be it in terms of both, be it in terms of getting a stipend and higher studies, at the same time getting a job, because gate, I don't know how many of them know, it will help you get in through the government sectors.
Yes.
Okay, like the ISRO, DRDO, BARC, you have GAIL, you have COAL, you have CQAL. Okay, all of these government sectors, GATE is one such, entry exam that can help you get through. So yeah, that is one option for sure. And you qualify GATE. The advantage of GATE is, you have 3 years validity for your GATE score. So say in 2025, you've qualified GATE. Okay. So that score the same scorecard you can use in 25, 26, and 2027 as well. So within any of these 3 years, you can apply for your higher education keeping the score. So that is one option for sure. So that's also the reason why I emphasize on people who are confused to also attempt GATE, whether you want it or not, just attempt it. Because by the time you finish attempting and you get your score, maybe you would have come through some conclusions. Even if otherwise, if you have qualified, you can use that as your further road for it. So that is definitely a wonderful option. And yeah, let's say for suppose I don't qualify, one out of 100, let's say that happens, then I still don't mind preparing for the next attempt of GATE. I'm definitely not going to give up, because once I've decided, I don't back out. That's the kind of person I am. So I don't mind if it is going to give me failures and setbacks for the next 100 years. I don't mind. I will still keep attempting it for the 101st year. That's how I'll be. So yeah, so I don't mind giving another attempt. And in the meantime, yes, I'm also keeping option for the corporates as well. So yeah, looking out with corporate sectors for jobs, looking out with government sectors for jobs, or most of the government sectors, and I think of late even the corporate sectors, they hire you as an intern for 2 months, 3 months, probably 6 months, instead of hiring you as a full-time role and then giving you 6 months of internship or probation. They sometimes hire you directly as 6 months, intern, and then they offer a full-time role into the company or the organization. So yeah, I'm looking out on that as well. At the same time, this time that I have, I thought let me not simply sit at home. So yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, so looking out for the corporate sector as well as the internships, and instead of sitting back at this time, I thought, let me, keep studying something at least. So yeah, I am looking out for a couple of industry-oriented certifications, couple of nano degrees, which some companies are providing. So yeah, I think I recently completed one, which was, sponsored by Bertelsmann in collaboration with Udacity. Udacity is a part of Accenture, so they had a nano degree sponsorship, and I got through the scholarship. And yeah, I completed the nano degree program recently. Yeah, Feb 19th I completed. So yeah, so this time I'm utilizing it to do something that I want to do, something that I really wanted to delve into the field, because all these days during my college days I was more backed up with studying for the academics. So now I feel I'm having enough time to prepare for the industry. And yeah, so I hope I'll be industry ready in some more time.
Okay, ma'am. That was nice, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that by your experience, I'm starting to getting a new point of view and also learning new things. So that was nice, ma'am.
Yeah, I believe that everybody should continue learning because learning itself is a continuous process. There is no full stop to it. So no matter what. In fact, recently I had a chance to meet with one of my grandparents for some help, and he had a quote in his room which said, uh, just when I knew all the answers to life's questions, they changed the question paper itself. So when I knew all the answers, they changed the question paper itself. So that was a nice way of saying that learning is a continuous process. It'll never end. So lifelong, you're supposed to keep learning. And yeah, I do have a couple of inspirations around my life. There are people who still keep learning, who still keep pursuing, irrespective of whatever they have achieved till today. They still keep applying for a couple of degrees for some more. They keep enrolling for something or the other. They still keep learning. Or they're still associated with the research teams. So that is something where I feel it'll be true with everyone at some point of time, whether they realize it early or late in life. It is going to be a true thing. So yeah, I think everybody should keep learning. So do not stop learning. That's the only thing that can help you out.
Nice, ma'am.
Yeah.
And my last question, very last question,
Mhm. No problem.
would be previously I asked about your goals, but right
Mhm.
now I'm asking about your dreams. What your dreams? And you can also answer it, and you can also don't have to answer it if you don't want to. It's all up to you.
Coming to dreams, well, yeah, higher education was always my dream. I think I always wanted to do a PhD as well. So I hope someday I'll be, fingers crossed, touch wood, someday I get to do my PhD as well. I have a doctor beside my name. So yeah, that is it. And something really interesting about learning various fields is I am starting to see my interest coming into various fields, not just the IT sector from where I've done my graduation. That is of course there, but apart from that, I'm also seeing some interests that I have towards the law field. So I'm also thinking if I can take up corporate law or IT law, that will always be a good option for me. Tomorrow, if at all I feel I would like to switch my career or the domain, that will also be a good chance to do. And yeah, that is one thing. And psychology is another subject that I love to learn. I think I saw this interest of psychology in me since engineering days, because that is when I got full access or proper access to internet without parental restrictions happening too much. So that is when I could really learn more about psychology, psychological facts, and yeah, to a certain extent, even I say dance also has an influence on this, because as we start learning higher states of when we progress further in dance, we also have a concept of psychology and the influence of that. So we have something called as portraying characters or depicting various characters. So you're given the description of a character that this is so and so are the traits, or so and so are the personality behaviors and things. And we'll have to enact that. So it is not about imitating, it is about portraying. So you're supposed to feel how the character would feel in that situation. So for that, you should know psychology, or at least to a certain extent, you're supposed to be good with psychology. Otherwise, you will not know about this. So yeah, that is also there. And yeah, again, through dance, and even if otherwise, from school days, I had an interest towards history. So probably someday I hope I'll be able to study history as well. So I think, yeah, maybe my dreams are more about, learning and acquire a lot of knowledge. So I think that is more about my dreams. And another thing is, yeah, progressing in the field of dance. So that is something that I really want to do. I don't want to leave it as a sideline either. I want to carry it as parallelly as I'm able to carry academics. I want to carry both of them equally. So that is also there. So these are some of my dreams, I should say. Yeah,
Nice, ma'am. By by the conversation you said, I understand that you have the hunger of knowledge. You want to do all kind of
true.
research.
Yes, research is something that I always liked. This is something which my professors also told during my engineering days. They said they told the minimum for you is supposed to be a PhD. Whether you pursue postdoctoral studies or whether you take up a double PhD or whatever, that is your choice. But we suggest go for a minimum PhD. Don't stop. Even if you feel the situations are not so okay that you want to take up a job immediately after your graduation, that is fine. But eventually, over time, make sure you are studying further, you are bagging a PhD minimum as well. And I still remember when I was very young, I think during my teenage days, my guru once saw this interest in me, and my guru has a very interesting thing in the class. She observes every student in the class, and she says something about them. So when she saw this interest in me, and she said, "So what are you going to do tomorrow when we see you? Okay, when we see a person professionally, beside their name, the professional qualification will be written. Like if somebody is a lawyer, BA, LLB, or LLM, like that, something will be written. Or if they're a doctor, then MBBS, MD, whatever specialization and whatever like that. So tomorrow you're going to do your so tomorrow you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be an engineer, you're going to be a lawyer, you're going to be an accountant, you're going to be everything. So whenever we write your name, Doctor, Pooja, etc., etc., etc. There is no stop. Three, four lines we will have in your placard. So I don't know. Maybe she saw that interest that I have interest into multiple subjects and multiple domains, and yeah. So I think that's how she told this. And somewhere I feel even she has also been an influence because when she started teaching, she had her master's degree in dance. Apart from being a CA, she was a chartered accountant before. So then she also had a master's degree in dance and she was teaching. And eventually, she never, though she was taking classes for us, she never stopped learning. Even now, she has not stopped learning. She still goes back to her gurus. She still keeps learning. And yeah, so recently finished her PhD, and she is also enrolled for a couple of other courses as well, apart from dance. So yeah, she still keeps studying. She still keeps doing things. So I feel that way, she's creating an environment where we feel inspired to learn, irrespective of our age, irrespective of our qualification, what we are, what we have achieved. Somewhere that environment where yeah, you can still learn more. You still have something more. You still have a different domain to explore. So that is always there. So yeah, that's been there.
Nice, ma'am. Now, I also want to know your mentor. I'm thinking I should know her. Hmm? No, I'm also thinking about
Oh,
meeting your mentor. The way you're explaining her, I'm also thinking,
yeah,
yeah, meeting her should be nice. So that's all.
yeah, definitely is nice, but apparently she is held up with a lot of things. So getting an appointment is hard, I agree.
Yeah, I understand. No, no pressure, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah.
So, mm, ma'am, do you have some time or should we end it right now?
No, I have time. I have no issues. Go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. So the flow is going right now. That's why I'm trying to ask more questions.
Yeah. No, I have no problem. I have no time restrictions. You can go now.
Okay. This question would be, could you explain about your interest of dance and also your childhood experience with dance or mentors?
Hmm. So speaking of dance, again, this turned out to be a natural thing in me. Maybe because I also come from a family where we've had people who are in this art form. I have my cousins who were, pursuing they were also doing Bharatanatyam a little more seriously. So yeah, most of the things that I needed for dance, be it the accessories, the hair accessories, all of them, I have got it literally from them. When they saw that, I'm pursuing it seriously, they just gave it to me saying that, we have stopped. It's long back we have stopped. So you are continuing it. Why don't you take it? It will be helpful to you. So that has been there. So maybe because I've come from that family, my roots also go there. So yeah, from a very young age, my parents saw me, dancing to any song that I hear. Be it they play it in a TV or maybe in a radio. When I hear, I start to do some steps, maybe move my hands, legs, shake my body, shake my head. So they said, okay, they saw that interest in me and they said, okay, let's put her into this field. And my mom is very much interested in singing. More than dance, she loves singing. So she said, okay, we'll put her into singing as well. So that was her interest. So they found a music teacher and a dance teacher close by to our place, and initially I was learning under them. And yeah, the teacher under whom it was a master, and I was learning under him. He was a little old, and it was difficult for him to teach. I don't say no. He tried his best to teach. I don't say no about that. For about 3 years, I was learning under him, and then my parents felt that she's not making any progress because, of course, the teacher is not able to get up and teach. He was pretty old. He had little bit of health issues happening, so he was trying his best, but not practically 100% possible. So then my parents said, okay, it's time to look for a new teacher. And that's when, it all started with having friends in music class. And they invited me over to their house one Sunday for a lunch. They told you, come home, we will play for a while, we'll have lunch, and then we'll go back home. So I went to their house, and that day after lunch, I was playing with them. After lunch, my parents came to pick me up, and their parents told that come, we will go for a walk. Anyway, their kids have were supposed to be dropped to western dance classes. So they said okay. My dad also said fine, so he took me, and my friend's father was also there, and all of us are just walking to the class. And they went to the dance class. The class had begun, the master was there, and he was teaching them. And my dad noticed there was a chart of Bharatanatyam mudras put up, the hastas and mudras put up. So then he guessed, if it is put up, if the chart is put there, then maybe, classical dance classes are also going on. So then he inquired with them. Then we found out that, there's a teacher there and she's teaching. So then my parents felt, okay, she's pretty more young and she can teach. So at least I can continue learning under this guru for a pretty long time. And that is how they, put me under this guru. And I'm continuing under the same guru right now. So yeah, at the age of 8, I was put under her. So that's how my journey began. And to say to an extent, yes, my parents had, they were the backbone for me to, for me to continue my interest in this field because in my childhood, I was a drama queen. Frankly speaking, I was a really good drama queen. So I was very anxious about going to classes. So I would make up excuses. I would say, no, I don't want to go to class. Or I go to class and I come back, I will simply start crying, saying, no, no, my legs are paining. I will not go to the next class. And my parents also were very much supportive and understanding of this. So they would also act as if, they are massaging my legs. They would say, no, 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 we will massage your legs. We will give you medicines. Your pain and all will go. Next class, you can go to class. You can go to the dance class. So yeah, I eventually I ran out of excuses, and yeah, going under the training for a couple of time, for a few years, I naturally developed an interest in that field, and yeah, now I'm pursuing it. So this is my journey in dance.
Nice, ma'am. Listening your story reminded me of my background. Not my background, my neighbor.
Mhm.
As I'm from West Bengal, there are various
Mhm.
neighbors near me who are
Mhm.
always doing musical classes.
Yes.
I self also joined art class, and my brother
Nice.
also joined guitar class. So yeah,
Nice.
I we can say that I know how it feels, but I never joined music, so
Okay.
that's it. I know how
No,
to
I
feel.
believe it's each one's interest. For example, I was very bad at drawing, so I never ventured in the field of drawing. But I was good at coloring and deciding the color. So painting was something that I liked, coloring was something that I liked. But I didn't take it more seriously because, eventually when you progress in that field, you should learn to draw good as well. Otherwise, simply learning to color or paint will not give that much, it will not add value to the years of, practice you have had to it. Otherwise, you should, if you're naturally good at drawing on a blank canvas, you can paint. Okay, so if you don't paint it correctly, if you don't get the shapes correct, then it'll just get distorted. The whole image is gone. So I never had that interest towards drawing or painting for that matter, but I had an interest towards, dancing, music, and these things. I also see people who are interested in, drawing, painting, but not interested in this. So I feel each individual has their own interest, and each one has their own taste of, art. So definitely they will like some art form or the other. Which one, it depends on the individual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am,
Yes. So
for
thank you so much, Arman.
thank you.